enjoying something that not many other people do can be a bittersweet thing. It can stink because you may feel it doesn't get the recognition it deserves, but it can be kind of cool to know you found a hidden gem. Maybe it was reviewed well, just didn't sell good. Underappreciated. Maybe it wasn't reviewed well, therefore people didn't buy it, but you found some aspects of it that you liked. Or perhaps it just flew under the radar. Regardless, underappreciated, underrated, whatever you want to call it, these are my top 10 favorite underrated video games of this generation. Of all the video games this generation, number 10 may have a favorite premise of mine. Dark Void. In Dark Void, you play as a cargo pilot, voiced by Nolan North, who's flying his cargo through the Bermuda Triangle after World War II. Gets caught up in a storm, thrown on a mystical island where there are aliens who are plotting to use the Nazis in our dimension to take over the world, and you, with the help of Nikola Tesla, have to use a magical, special, technological jetpack to save the world from UFOs and flying saucers. I made none of that up. That premise is sweet. Unfortunately, the whole other rest of the package isn't pulled off that well. It was based more on vertical cover than what we're used to on ground horizontal cover, which makes for some really cool firefights, but after the 5th or 6th one, you're kind of like, oh, it's the same old thing. It's extremely easy. It's third-person shooter, third-person platformer, third-person flyer. It's got some really cool battles you fight, and the premise is so goofy, it's awesome. But unfortunately, nothing else about the game is as good as the story on the back. Maybe I'm a bit biased of number 9. Okay, I'm a lot biased by number 9. X-Men Origins Wolverine. Guys, what killed this game was the fact that it's based on the film. Those hardly ever turn out good, right? This is a very good superhero game. It's very much like the ones of yesteryear on PS2, Xbox, or even before that, as it's very linear, but it's got level ups, it's got power ups, it's got all sorts of moves to unlock, and although it's based on the film, it goes off not just to the movie universe, but off in the whole Marvel universe with, yes, Weapon X, but also Sentinels and things of that sort. It gets kind of crazy, but it's really fun. The gameplay is really good, the graphics are cool, there's some stuff, it kind of goes back and forth between present day and like the 60s, 70s, 80s Logan, and it's really a lot of fun. This was made by Raven Software, who has made some really good games actually in the last 10 years, and some good Marvel games, and I promise you this won't be the last time we see Raven on this list. But guys, X-Men Origins Wolverine, good voice cast, good gameplay, it's check your brain at the door fun. It's got some really cool action sequences as well. And guys, come on, it's a game based on the best superhero ever created. Yeah, I said it. Number 9. I can't be the only dude here that likes Mars. Red Faction Armageddon, number 8. Now, Red Faction was at one time a really good selling property. It's kind of dwindled over the years, and unfortunately we've seen what's happening to THQ. But Red Faction Armageddon is my second favorite Red Faction game in the series. My first one being the original game, which was a first-person shooter and a very well-received first-person shooter. Red Faction Armageddon, not unlike the 2 other games that I have on this list that I've said already, it's dumb fun, guys. It takes place on Mars, you're fighting aliens and soldiers, and everything is destructible, awesome weapons. It's really fun to go through. Now, don't let that fool you. There's actually one big risk they take with the story that I thought paid off well. But guys, some really cool weaponry in here. Like, they have a magnet gun, where you shoot a magnet at somebody, and then you shoot a magnet at something else, and it brings them together. So imagine shooting a bad guy with the first round, and a building with the second. Watch that building come crumbling down on the bad dude. That's awesome, and that's awesome every time. Completely destructible environments. They've even got a mode where all you do is destroy as much as you want and see how fast you can do it. The gunplay is good. This actually has replay value, guys, because there's a lot of really cool weapons and costumes and things of that sort that you can't unlock the first time around. There's XP, there's leveling up, there's a skill tree system. It's really cool, and if you are interested in this or do like this, then there is a movie that you can buy for very cheap. It was made for Sci-Fi Channel, called Red Faction Origins. That is the movie leading up to this game. One of my favorite games in the last couple of years, and it's just so goofy. It's fun. I've gone through it 3 times and had a blast each and every time. And when you just start getting bored with something, they throw you in a huge mech and they basically tell you, just kill and blow everything up. And you, as the player, goes, okay, I can dig that. Red Faction Armageddon. Somebody watching this video will have played the next game and go, are you kidding me? And I will say back, it's truly one of my favorite games of this generation. I feel so good to get off my chest. Alpha Protocol. Now, some of you may be going, what's Alpha Protocol? Let me tell you, it's Mass Effect wannabe, but set in the spy espionage universe. Fans of this game, and there are 4 of us, call it the JB game. James Bond, Jason Bourne, and Jack Bauer. This is just like Mass Effect. No, I mean, I need to relax, bring it down. This is similar to Mass Effect. It was trying to be Mass Effect, where you have dialogue trees. It's a third-person shooter, but with a ton of RPG elements and skill trees, and the story changes depending on what decisions you make. It's a lot of glitches, though, guys. Screen tearing. There is audio issues, and there are some gun issues. But guys, in between levels, like in Mass Effect, when you go back to the Normandy, you go back to your safe house in this game, and that's where the game really opens up, and you can start to peel away the bad parts of the onion and get to the center, the juicy center, sweet, juicy center of that onion. And see, there's a really deep RPG here. You start answering emails, you go to the black market, start buying weapons and weapons attachments, ammo, and all sorts of things for your guy, for armor or whatever. You start to talk to people, you start to choose missions. You'll choose a mission, but you won't be able to choose this one if you choose that one, and vice versa. It's really cool, guys. It's more spy espionage, but one of the few games that says you can play it however you want it, and they actually don't punish you. This game, guys, is close to my heart. It's the closest thing I've got to Siphon Filter. Back off! Alpha Protocol, I truly do like this game. I don't recommend games to people unless I absolutely know they're going to like it. I've recommended this game to 2 people. They both like it. Whew, it's a load off my mind. Alpha Protocol truly is one of my favorite games the last few years. Eek. I love Skyrim, and I don't stop playing Skyrim unless I have a good reason. You want to know what that first good reason was? Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning, and it clocks in at number 6. Unfortunately, we've seen what's happened to these great developers of this game. But guys, let me say this. This is an awesome, awesome role-playing game. This is a lot like Skyrim in the vein that's open world and it's sword and shield, but it looks more like World of Warcraft and plays like God of War. The combat is like God of War. The combat is like God of War. As you can see, it's from the minds of R.A. Salvador. The very good story, especially from the beginning and mostly throughout. The ending isn't super strong, but still very good. Ken Rolston, obviously for gamers, we know who he is. Todd McFarlane did the design of the games. Really cool enemy design. 90% of the enemies are really cool design. Awesome environments, huge environments, beautiful, gorgeous environments. Some awesome armor. Guys, you know what RPGs do as far as, you know, how deep the combat system is, how deep the leveling up system is, and your magic and all that good stuff, your armor. You know what I'm talking about. This game does that, and it does it to near perfection for what they were going for. 2 DLC packs for this game if you're really into it. A lot of content. Just to let you know, I went through and did about everything you can possibly do on this before the DLC and clocked in at about 110 hours. So that gives you an idea how long the game is. Excellent game. A lot of people slept on it, unfortunately, which is why they're in the trouble they're in. But guys, I highly recommend this game. And unfortunately, because it didn't sell what it was supposed to, we're not going to see any sequels. And that's a shame because they created a really good universe for this game. Number 6. Well, that wraps it up, guys. The end of Part 1. Part 2 with games 5 through 1 will be going up shortly. Guys, have you played any of these games? What are some of your favorite underrated games? Are any of them the ones I mentioned? Are these games bad and there's a reason? Mav, there's a reason why no one talks about Alpha Protocol. Or have you played them and you liked them? Guys, I would really appreciate your feedback. I will talk to you in the comments section. As always, I'll see you guys soon. I'm Maverick10, and I'm out of breath. In space!